Hi everybody, it's on air, my Beatles collection. And today is record store day here in the United States. So this morning I went out early and got online at my local record store. Shout out to Salty Dog Records. And there were about 50 people, I would say, maybe more, in front of me online. The store opened at 8 a.m. I got into the store at about 8:45. So it took almost 50 minutes for 50 people to make their way in and out of the store. They only let in about 5 or 6 people at a time. So one person left, they let one person in. There were a lot of couples, so 2 left, 2 went in. And because they only let a few people in at a time, the store was wide open. It was very easy to go through all the entire store and look for whatever you happen to be looking for. I knew right away what I was looking for, and what I was looking for was right there on the counter next to the cash register. So I walked right up to the counter, grabbed what I was there for, paid my way out the door in less than 3 or 4 minutes. So that was good. First thing I saw, and the first thing I got, was this guy. So this is the 60th anniversary reissue. I'm covering the sticker. 60th anniversary reissue of I Want to Hold Your Hand, backed with I Saw Her Standing There. A lot of people online had noticed in the promo pictures that the sticker was over Paul's hand, and they were wondering if Paul has the cigarette in his hand, which was brushed out of at least one of the reissues. It was in the original release back in '64. And I'm here to tell you that it is there. There is a cigarette there. They almost covered it with the sticker that says Made in Czech Republic, but they didn't. This is a side loader, not a top loader. The original and the reissues were top loaders. This is a side loader. In the pictures that I saw in advance, I also was wondering about the label, because what I had seen was this much of the label. And I said, gee, that's a little different. But here's why. It's got the small spindle hole, which all the previous American issues have the large spindle hole, which was traditional here in the States to have the large spindle hole. Sometimes when you get the UK versions, there's a punch out where you can punch out the middle to fit an American turntable, but they didn't bother to do that in this case. I guess they assume everybody's got a small spindle hole, and mostly they play albums have the small spindle hole. So the record is nice and clean. I don't see any flaws there with that. So that's nice. The price was $16.99, which I did not think was a good price. That's a lot of money for a single. It is a hardcover. I mentioned already it's a side loader, not a top loader. I just slit the side so I could get it. I'm going to leave the shrink on this one. Anyway, that goes in the collection with all the others. Of course, the big item of the day was this guy. Now this came out, the yellow version of this record case came out in April with the 3-inch record player from Crosley. So at that time, if you bought that package, you got the small record player, you got a yellow case, and you got 4 of the 3-inch singles. There was only one single left. This is All My Lovin', and that was the first song that the Beatles performed on the Ed Sullivan Show on their first appearance. But combined with the other 4, those 5 songs make up that first night on the Ed Sullivan Show. So again, this is a tribute to their '64 visit to America, and that's what it says here on the top. Here's a closer look of the contents on the side. That's a famous picture used for the Beatles in America and also for the American Albums box that came out previously. And there's some tickets from concerts. So that's what that looks like. Now let's open it up and see what it looks like inside. So there's a tab on the side you have to open. The sticker comes up. The sticker says All My Lovin' and the Beatles. So lift that up, and that's what you see when you open the box. This is just some warranty information from Crosley. And that's what it looks like without that. And just lift that out of the box. Styrofoam bumpers that are custom made to fit the box perfectly. In a plastic bag. And the first thing I notice is, despite the fact that the pictures that we saw online made it look like a white box, it's actually a gray box. So it says Beatles American Tour 1964. There's no other printing on it. There's just a label on the bottom. So it's clean all the way around. Got the black handle on top. Open that snap, and what you see is the record All My Lovin' in there. So let's take that out. So that's All My Lovin'. These are only one song. So there's a label on the back to seal it. It's not really resealable. I'm going to have to take one of my rubber gloves off in order to get that label off there. And of course it's not mint anymore once I do that, but what are you going to do? If you want to see inside, you gotta take the label off. And it's not that easy. So I'm struggling with it, but it's coming off. Hopefully I'll be able to put it back on with some semblance of how it came in the first place. So then it opens like this, and inside, first thing you see is the record itself. Again, 3-inch mini. Here's the back side, and that's got a picture from the Ed Sullivan Show. Just some credit information for Apple on the bottom. And then I gotta take it out with the gloved hand. Here's the record. You can see the grooves there. Nothing on the other side. Just some lint. Other than that, it's just a regular old record, but it's 3 inches, and it's got some engraving in the run-out area. Now, some of you might remember from a video I did back when the other set came out in April that it plays excellent on a normal turntable. So I put it on my regular turntable, played it through my house system. It sounded great. Of course, on a 3-inch Crosley record player, didn't sound that great. That Crosley player happens to have Bluetooth capability, so I was able to play that through my house system as well. So that certainly improved the sound. If you're going to spend a lot of money on records and try to keep them like new, sorry Crosley, but I wouldn't recommend you do it on a Crosley player. Certainly not on a 3-inch Crosley player. Anyway, these aren't really made for that purpose. They're a novelty item. They're made for show, and this will look cute next to the 3-inch player and the yellow box that came with the first set. And then they all come with a poster. It's not a huge poster. It's probably 7 inches wide by 17 high or something like that. Maybe it's not even, but anyway, there was a poster with each one. They're all a little different. And of course, they're all trying to highlight what happened here in America during that first American tour. That started with the Ed Sullivan Show. It proceeded to the Washington Coliseum. And then they went down to Miami to shoot another Ed Sullivan Show. And it was kind of a quick tour. I believe they came back to Carnegie Hall in New York and made a few other stops. I'm not going to go through all the tour information here, but also today is the showing on Disney Plus of Beatles 64, which is a rehash version of the original Maysles Brothers film, which came out as the Beatles' first visit to America. It's been released a couple of times with slightly different name variations. This one, they used that footage, but they added additional new footage of Paul and Ringo reminiscing. Much of what they cover was covered in the anthology. But, if you haven't seen the Beatles in their original 1964 look, mostly in black and white, that's available on Disney Plus today. And all this stuff really is all part of a package to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Beatles here in the U.S. Of course, they came here in February. We're now in November, almost December. So a lot of this is aligned for Christmas shopping, not so much aligned with the actual anniversary of their arrival. I had the good fortune to attend the Fest for Beatles fans, previously known as Beatlefest, at JFK Airport on the anniversary of the Beatles' arrival 60 years ago. So that was fun. The very place where they were interviewed and by the press and shown worldwide, and of course your usual activity that happens at a Beatlefest. Lots of bands, formal bands, lots of people just playing guitars in the hallway. There a lot of stage stuff, a lot of the authors that have written about the Beatles. So that was fun. And that was actually on the weekend of the anniversary of their arrival here 60 years ago. So that's it for this video today. I wanted to show you how my my visit to the record store for RSD that came out, and I got what I wanted. And shout out to my son Kevin, who's 1,500 miles away, and he and I simultaneously in 2 states were able to acquire this box and package here today. We actually texted each other at almost the exact same time. We were both making the purchase at almost exactly the same time, so that was good too. So anyway, that's it for this video. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again on Air, My Beatles Collection. Thanks.